Welcome to the Tarim River Basin in the northwest China. It has a typical mountain oasis desert ecosystem with many important facts, some of which are listed on this page. The river is fed by the ice caps of three ranges of mountains: Tian Shan in the north, Pamir in the west, and Kunlun Mountain in the south. Today, we will be looking at projects and processes from the perspective of environmental flows. Environmental flows are freshwater quantity, quality, and timing that is required by aquatic ecosystem to keep sustained. The river is highly dynamic, and the basin covered 1,020,000 kilometers squared in 2018. Many researchers would consider 1950s to 1972 to be environmental flow standards. In 1972, they built a dam that is upstream of the terminal lake by 321 kilometers. This lake is called Tarim Lake, and it dried up in 1972, which is the same year as when this dam was built, and 2 years later, the lake dried up again. It is worth noting that irrigation consumed 95% of the flow, and the dam was built for the sake of irrigation in this land. Then in 1990, World Bank came to Xinjiang and introduced a project that focused on economy and agricultural development to pull people out of poverty, hoping to increase livestock and productivity for a huge population, 1.3 billion people in China. In 1998, a couple of provincial officials went to Australia to visit and were inspired by Murray-Darling Basin Committee on Environmental Flows. The World Bank established the Tarim Basin II project with partial objective to restore environmental flows. Since then, in 1992, the World Bank has already established an integrated management approach to water resources, composing of Standing Committee, Executive Committee, Office, and other committees, as well as 19 water user associations of farmers. At the same time, the Ecological Project opened, where they opened up the dam release to eject more water into the Tarim River. For the first time, the terminal lake has received flow in 30 years. The result of the Tarim Basin II project is that the lower stream poplar tree, we can see in the tree rings that the band has increased. The green corridor, including Taitama Lake area, they benefited, and the environmental water deliveries totaled 1.7 billion cubic meters from 6 releases over the 4 years. And they have stabilized fixed this amount of reliefs from the dam. Thus, the World Bank felt there was great achievement in this project in connecting people to integrated water resource management and introducing them to the best irrigation methods. In 2005, the government project was known to have spent $2 billion for flow restoration in China's longest interior river. The project that ended in 2004 did not turn out to look well for the local officials. 2005 was a drought year, and the trees downstream were becoming endangered. Research found that Kaidu River is the one that is sustaining the ecosystem's recovery in the Green Corridor rather than the upstreams of Tarim River. Kaidu River is channeled into the Tarim River by human actions. Mainstream flows is found still to be decreasing due to irrigation because people withdraw water to increase their crop yield. And desiccation of river is becoming increasingly severe, reported in 2011 by research. So by 2015, universities from Germany and China has already decided on a collaboration. We have 6 universities from China and 11 universities gathered together to form a sustainable management of river oases along the Tarim River project. Sumario project has a goal of restoring the poplar trees in the lower streams, which is in the Green Corridor. They focused on ecosystem service, water quota versus water price, human values, science, and policy. Because upon coming in to work for 4 years, the friends from Germany have discovered that human values played a big part. Their value of fearing desertification and also their views on the water quota has greatly influenced their water uses upstream and in the midstream for irrigation and other needs. Their 4 years of research and integrated plan have led them to discover that lower reaches of the Tarim River has decreasing area of the forest and green corridor because of lowering groundwater levels. Desalination would increase poplar productivity. Other research have also found that increasing water rate would help sustainability indirectly. Drip irrigation is used by 29.1% of the farmers at that point. But when they were interviewed, they said that if the water prices increase by a fair amount, 30% more farmers would switch to groundwater wells that were private or use drip irrigation instead of flood irrigation. Thus, from this interview and research, people understood that it was no longer a water quota established by the World Bank that helped the farmers to make a decision regarding their irrigation methods, but it was the water price. But the groundwater levels are already low. Thus, An increase in water rate would help some people, but not others, to use water sustainably. So the outcomes of this project of restoring the lower reaches of Tarim River Basin is that the biodiversity almost doubled within the last 4 years. And finally, Taitama Lake receives water almost every year as the dam releases river water to the terminal lake. The Global Environmental Flow Information System sets up an index of 4 classes indicated by the green, yellow, orange, and red, which is not shown on this map. Class A has the best environmental flow, while Class D the medium threat level to environmental flow. Currently, they are diverting more channels into the forest for farmlands. And one advice that environmental flow researchers had was that they channel according to groundwater levels. Where groundwater levels are high, they would channel accordingly. Thus, the trees along the river would be sustained. Thank you for listening.